everyone. So today I am finally getting around to doing my second trimester symptoms list. Some positives, some negatives, but overall I just want to list everything that happened to me personally. Now, every pregnancy is different, so you may have these symptoms, you may not have these symptoms, you may have other ones that I never got. And so because of that, I just want to list what I went through during my second trimester of my first pregnancy, which is the one that's ongoing now. So, started off, the thing I remember the most were all the hip pains I got. So I'd be lying in bed and I couldn't stay on one side for that long. My hips would just be in so much pain, just like radiating all down the side, down probably halfway down to my knee. From my hip, and so that was super painful, and I know it's like the ligaments stretching out, my hips are widening to get ready, and so that was probably one of the things I remember the most as being the most painful and most memorable bad symptom of the second trimester. So for me, it was hip pain. Another symptom was leg pains in general. So, just being like my muscles being fatigued in my legs. And I think it was just the extra weight I was putting on. I wasn't used to no one is used to putting on that much weight that quickly, I guess. And so just having all that extra definitely made my legs feel more sore. But another symptom beyond that were like cramps. So I didn't have any of this the first trimester, but the second trimester this started where I would go to like stretch my legs, and if I pointed my toes, my entire calf would just tighten up completely and I would not be able to move my foot at all. And it was like a ton of like Charlie horses that I would get in my calves, mostly, I guess really just my legs in general, but in my calves, in my quads, in my hamstrings, and that I did not expect. But when I read about it, I Googled the symptom and everything, and it apparently is completely normal. And so that was not cool. But I did learn that if I stretched, most of this happened in bed. If I stretched before I went to bed, it was a ton better. And so I would do like half stretches before I get into bed. I'd stretch my quads, stretch my hamstrings. That would help a lot. And so the other thing is when I would go to roll over to switch sides from the hip pain, I guess I stretch my legs out subconsciously. I mean, I'm sleeping, but I would point my toes as I would stretch. The pain of the Charlie horse in my calf would wake me up if I wasn't awake already. And so, yeah, it was just a ton of pain while I was sleeping. None of this really happened much during the day. If I sat too long in my chair at my desk at work, then I would get some of this pain, but mostly when I was sleeping. So, yeah, that was not cool. But I've definitely managed that better, and as long as I flex my feet and whatnot, definitely helps a lot. So that was that portion of the second trimester. So some separate non-leg things. I wrote these down so I would not forget. So I did get a little bit of lower back pain. Nothing debilitating, nothing that would make me not be able to do anything normal that I couldn't do. I definitely would, when I bend over, I would make sure I consciously was bending correctly so that I wouldn't hurt my back or hurt my belly or anything like that, as you should always do, to be honest. But my lower back, I think it just was because my belly started popping out in the second trimester. So second trimester starts at 14 weeks. It's 14 to 28. And at 14 weeks, there was nothing. I didn't have much. I had bloating, but I had no belly yet. And so during the 14 to 28, my belly started growing. And as that happened, I think my weight just started shifting forward. I would get pains in my feet. Another pain there. I would get pains in my feet, like tingling, but also a little bit of lower back pain. But I was being very diligent about making sure I stretched that and kept my lower back strong with workouts. So that wasn't really anything, especially compared to now in my third trimester. So but that'll be on the next trimester symptoms video. So to keep going, another symptom would be heartburn. I didn't have any the first trimester, which I was super excited about. And it wasn't until about halfway through my second trimester that I started getting the heartburn. And so with the heartburn, then started coming acid reflux. And it's just as my belly started finally popping out that she would push, kick the valve so that the valve gets loosened with the different hormones that your body's now producing because of pregnancy. And so because of that, I got some pretty bad heartburn and acid reflux. Again, nothing compared to what I'm going through now. Another video. But yeah, so heartburn and acid reflux started, I think, right around the 20-week mark. But again, to be expected, it's nothing out of the normal. So it is what it is. So I think the only other, we'll go with negative, not as positive, symptom for second trimester would be sleeping. So I would sleep fine for the first, probably half of this trimester. Again, didn't start until maybe around the 20-week mark when my belly started really coming out. But when I did, and I started changing, and with the hip pains and the leg pains and everything I've already spoken about, that was disrupting my sleep. And so that was really the start of getting just not a full night's sleep like I used to get. I now wake up a lot more. But one positive symptom from the second trimester is I was peeing a lot less frequently. And so it wouldn't wake me up in the night. And I think that was because she was coming out and away from my bladder, that I didn't need to go to the bathroom as much, which was awesome. So almost the entire second trimester, I'm not sure I woke up to go to the bathroom in the night at all, which was pretty awesome. So that first trimester, I was getting up every single night. Now in the third, I'm getting up every single night again. But that second trimester, I was getting much better sleep than either of those either the first or the third trimester so far. And definitely not having to get up to go pee all the time is awesome. I didn't lower my water intake. I wasn't as good about it, but I didn't lower it. And when I would have a ton, I would still just pee like it was normal and not pregnant. So that was pretty awesome. So another positive, I think maybe because I was getting so much sleep, or just my body was now in second trimester, that I had a ton of energy. I mean, not like 100% like before I was pregnant, but it was pretty darn close. Like first trimester, I was super tired. And the funny thing is, I think in the first trimester video, I was just like, yeah, I was a little fatigued or whatever. But now, looking back, I was really tired my first trimester. I was exhausted, I was fatigued, and my body was going through so much and all the extra hormones and everything. And I was in it, so I didn't notice it. But then after my second trimester, I was like, holy smoke, I was way out of it. And so second trimester, I had a ton more energy, which was awesome, which made for another awesome symptom of great workouts. I felt the first trimester, I would work out. If I could, I would try to do 3 times a week, but it usually did not happen. I was doing yoga once a week, and then I would try and get in one other day, in addition to just walking. And so I was not really working out that much. But second trimester, I upped it, and I was doing almost 4 times a week of workouts, which was excellent. Like, I felt so good. And I mean, yeah, the weight wasn't as high as it should, no, not as it should be, as I was pre-pregnancy, and that's completely expected. I was doing about half the weight during workouts, I wasn't running, anything hard, no high intense cardio, no HIIT training, anything like that. But I was working out 4 times a week if I could, if I had time. So that was awesome. Now, not so much, but that was really good. I'd say second trimester, as they say, is definitely the best trimester, and I would 100% agree with that, at least so far. So yeah, so those are all my symptoms: the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, whatever you want to say. And so thanks for sticking with me so far. I'm hoping to do a third trimester. I don't know if I want to do it before labor, before I actually go into labor, and just kind of list everything up until then. We'll see how I'm feeling. or just after she's born, then talk about it. Because I've been talking about each symptoms after the trimester, but I have a feeling I'm going to want to do other stuff. So I might get the 3rd trimester in like that, like 39-week mark or something like that. So yeah, 2nd trimester symptoms. Thanks.